So we are talking about how to work with your hotel bookings, whether they're in an itinerary or if you want to look at any hotel bookings that you've saved to your library, or looking specifically at a custom e-page. So I'm going to start by heading over to my library. It's going to be in your top menu over here to the right. And we're going to look at custom e-pages. So if I'm on the library side, I'm going to click on custom e-pages here, and I'm actually going to pull up a resource for you, but click on custom e-pages, and then I want to specifically look at my Boston guide. If I was adding this from scratch, I would click the new button, give it the e-page a name, and I would start from there. So let's just call this a sample, hit create, and then really it's just kind of the bare minimum. Um, where you'll notice with itineraries, it's going to be day one, day two, day three, and then within your AXUS itinerary, it's going to be, June 5, 6, 7. Here, we just have bookings, and then you can add plus new booking, um, starting off with a header or a subheader. You would, so if I click header only, so let's call this main header and save. So I've got that here. And then underneath it, if I want kind of categories that go underneath my header, I would insert new below, go to other notes, and call this, let's call this subheader. So my subheader is going to be under here. And then I can like duplicate the booking if I want, just add it again. So you'll notice with the framework, we've got the header, all the subheaders here. Um, this is where I could add in a hotel. Um, Add that in and save. So just to look at visually what that looks like. Um, I would need a, cover image for my itinerary, of course, and then my main header, and then underneath it, any subheaders, and then my content, like the specific hotel booking below that. So more on headers and custom e-pages. I'm going to link in the chat, so feel free to grab that. Um, but looking at a specific example, so I have hotels in Boston and Nashville. I'm sorry, that's my itinerary templates. I'm going to go over to um, custom e-pages, Boston guide. And so this is what I have here. So for my header, I have, hotels in Boston, subheaders, 5-star, 4-star, and 3-star hotels. And then down below, restaurants in Boston. Subheaders would be breakfast spots, lunch spots. And then my content below that would be restaurants. So again, for that first one, it was a other notes booking that was marked as header only. This was just a regular other notes booking. Um, and then my hotels. So let's look at visually how that comes out. So I have my image here, a table of contents, um, my header and subheader, my first hotel. So here brings in my check-in and check-out times, a little summary, amenities, cancellation policy, and the same thing for the second hotel and the third. And then I've got my list of the subtitle, or sorry, the sub header, my goodness, for these four-star hotels. And then that subheader for three-star, and then the list of hotels. This is how the restaurants appear with my subheader and main header here. List of breakfast spots, and then lunch options here. So visually, that's how that looks for using a custom e-page. You can't publish a custom e-page, so it's got the word shared in the browser, so a login is not needed. You can copy and paste this in the notes section of one of your bookings of your main live itinerary. You can turn this into a PDF and you could add that as a document, an uploaded document into your itinerary. But perhaps this is more of a starting guide of maybe your clients don't know where they want to go. And so you're creating this custom e-page to kind of help them with their decision process. Um, After they kind of know a little bit more of what they want to do, maybe instead of picking between the hotels, maybe they know that they're going to stay 2 nights at this place, 3 nights at this place. They kind of have more of an idea. And that's where you can really start creating a proposal for them. So with the proposal, I'm going to click in hotels in Boston and Nashville. And basically, again, instead of, June 5, 6, 7, I'm going to have day 1, day 2, day 3. And I'm going to add in my items here. So this is still an other notes booking. I can call it header only if I want. And then can link that here and hit save. Take out that link that I had. And then I've got my first hotel, um, Graduate by Hilton Nashville, the second Hermitage Hotel, and then the Noel Nashville downtown location. So I've added those three. So visually, I have all three hotels listed here. So within this booking, and I'm in my proposal, I'm not in a live itinerary. I've got room description, I've got bedding info, so I can definitely add those things. So let's call it a deluxe room. Let's say it's a queen. Let's say it's 500 a night. Just something simple here. If amenities fit with that, you could certainly add that. Here, brought over the phone number and website. So I'm going to hit save. With the second hotel, it didn't bring over the phone number or website. I have a property description, start day, end day, check-in and check-out time. I'm going to add those. And if it applies, I'm just going to change the date to 26. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in the phone number and website. I'm going to try to enhance the booking. So it already has been saved, but I'm going to go down to Google and it brought over a phone number and website. So I'm going to go ahead and save. Now it does, as you're adding in these hotels, like especially if you've, enhanced it and you added in, like the phone number and website were able to come through, it doesn't hurt to just copy your one booking to your library, so that if you don't take this proposal with these hotel bookings and create an itinerary from them in the future, you could use this hotel listing for something else. So it never hurts to go into those and copy the library. But for the same thing for here, for the Noel, I'm going to enhance the booking with Google once again. It brought me a phone number and a website as well. And I'm just adding in some example content. And then I'm going to save. I could have also gone back in and just copied the library. Now, there was a question before that someone had about if you wanted to add another hotel image. Um, you could certainly, if I click add image, like for this one in particular, once I do it, let's see here. So this was the initial image that I chose. So once I went back up to it and chose because it was powered by a Virtuoso, so it's going to be by Consortia or or our North Star database. So once I kind of chose that again, I'm able to pull up um, this destination gallery, and so then I can add in like a second image, but it'll be more like a carousel, so you can add an additional, um, but you can't have an image uh, per each room, if that makes sense. So I've added those. But even if you add a second room, so let's say for this one, I'll add a second room. Um, the image will still be for the hotel. And now, if someone was adamant about, I definitely want a separate image, that sort of thing, I guess the workaround round would be you could just add the hotel in again, but you'll just kind of want to play around with the content to see how it's going to show up via web view, um, to make sure that's really how you want it. So sometimes that's just a matter of um, going to the web view, seeing how it looks, that sort of thing. Now I'm going to go over to web view and take a look. Okay, for some reason, maybe I didn't save. Let's see. And I shouldn't be having all these tabs open. That's not helpful. So I'm going to add image. Again, if you don't see this destination gallery here, um, click at the end of your title and make sure it's powered by Virtuoso. Bring in that first image again, select and crop. So that pulls up. You know what? I don't think that I hit select and crop. Add image, select and crop. Let's just do one more for fun. Or maybe I was even in another hotel booking. But either way, um, let's add just something original once again and go ahead and save. Click on Web View. And now I have my images. So I needed to do the extra step and um, so let's say, for example, I added a second image here. Um, I would have needed to then select and crop. Click that select and crop button, and I think that's what I was missing. Right, so we have that. And then we have that room category information like one on top of the other. Um, but again, all those images are via that little carousel or almost like a slideshow. All right, I can now take my itinerary and template here that's living in my library, and I can create an itinerary from it. So here, I can click this little circular arrow. I can also go to within my library and within itinerary templates. Um, I can also click this little circular arrow here. Make sure this is the one I was on. So I'm actually going to change this to make it more accurate. And now click on that circular arrow, give it a start date, May 11, create itinerary. So now I'm in my live itineraries feed. And now that I'm here, I can click on the first hotel and I can add in additional information. You'll notice here now we've got room notes. So there's items that are not going to be in the library as, you know, if you were to take this itinerary now and you were to save it to the library, it's going to strip out specific passenger info, right? Because we don't want to have content from an old client for the next trip. So similarly, yeah, we're going to have items now that we can like add a guest name and number of guests and add in room notes so we can get a little more specific for that client. So just note that. Now, if I want to save information to my hotel booking in the library, so if I were go, let's go to the library, and again, not good to have all the tabs open, but well, let's see here. So I've got, let's look at it this way. So I'm actually going to go to the actual booking itself in the library. I'm going to go to accommodation, Hermitage Hotel, edit booking. So I've got an image, I have the title, the address, the phone number, the website, property description, which I could always break up. Um, and then I've got my room here, that sort of thing. But again, I'm not going to have info on the guests. I'm not going to have um, room notes, that sort of thing. So if I want to save something, maybe put it in the room description so that when I'm ready to be on the itinerary side, I can kind of bring that info over. So just be mindful of um, the the areas within the hotel booking that will only like that are in the library, but then, or sorry, even just within your live itinerary that would not be saved, right? Like room notes on the library side. So just to kind of like watch out for that. So this is again the perspective of a library booking. And then when I'm within the live itinerary, I can add in a lot more information, like guest name, number of guests, that sort of thing. So question, it says, is there a powered by signature? Do you have to be a virtuoso agency to see their listings? I only see North Star. So it's only going to be by consortia or the North Star database. So um, if you are signature and you don't see, just definitely reach out to us if something seems wrong. But yeah, it's going to be by either consortia or North Star hotels. So definitely reach out to us if something is amiss. For everything, you can always message support@accesstravelapp.com, support@accesstravelapp.com. Um, so here, that's where then I'd add in, the guest name, number of guests, and so on and so forth. Oh, this is where my images went. Okay. So again, you can always, and that's why it really is good to save your hotel bookings to your library so that if you want to work on the formatting or anything like that, you kind of don't have to redo that information. Um, so that's helpful. And for amenities, for any type of cancellation policy, um, it is really like you are the expert. We leave it up to you to decide, is that accurate to how I booked um, that specific reservation. So while we have the add button, you will need to evaluate the content to see if it's accurate. And then, of course, with your itinerary, um, you have fixed dates, duration, all that good stuff. Even though you have 2 nights, you now have, a date attached to it, which is really helpful. Still have the room information right on top of each other, but yeah, I definitely would, as clients are trying to figure out, where they want to go, maybe start with the custom e page, break down hotels and prices just to give them kind of an idea. And then maybe if you have a rough proposal, put it in an itinerary proposal, and then it kind of helps you with the next process, which is from that proposal, create a live itinerary for the clients that you will um, publish to them, and they can get excited about their next trip. Let me take a look at any questions that were submitted, and then if you have any questions, please feel free to add. So someone's having an issue with sizing pictures or adding hotel pictures. So really when I go into add a hotel, so let's say the first one here, I want to add an image. And once again, remember that um, I'm not seeing the last option here, which is when you're using like a hotel lookup. So I'm just going to go here. This is powered by North Star. If it's not consortia, I'm going to click on that again to bring that first image in, but then it brought me that destination gallery. So then I can go in and add the other. Um, I would stay away from vertical images. I mean, I can hit select and crop, but I'm gonna get part of it. Okay, in this one I do get the sign, so maybe that's all right. But it's gonna be kind of that 750 by 300 like framework there. And so if it's already minimized, if I click that minus sign, it's not going to go any further. Um, so you can either select from that. We do have, if you just click in the search bar um, within the support library, just a query on images, and you're going to get several items. Um, you can go as far as, going into like a tool like Canva and creating, a background of like 750 by 300, and then you can basically make it look like uh, a collage, or you can add in pictures that again wouldn't fit inside here. But this is basically what you want to kind of stick with. I'm going to click add image again. And then this time, let's say I'll use this. So I can only fit what's in this window, right? So I can't go to the left or the right, but I can kind of go up a little bit. And so I just have to stay within that parameter and then hit save here. And I will link to within the support library, just click on images and just a query on all of that. Um, let's see here. So I'll add that to the chat. Okay. Just looking back at the chat, there's a question. What is the best way to save Virtuoso amenities so I'm not typing this out every time? So if they're not pulling up for you, I would just, if anything, I would just start saving your bookings to the library. Start saving your hotel bookings to the library, save them in images, save them um, within that hotel booking in the library, go to the amenities part and do that. Um, so, like if I click on um, this one particular hotel, I'm going to click new amenity, add the amenity name. If I need to add a description, whatever I need to do. And so I'd save that into um, my hotel template within. Um, so if I'm in my library, I'm going to go down to the different booking types. I'm going to go down to accommodation. If I don't have it already, I'll create a new hotel name. Sometimes that even another thing here, um, let's say my booking for wasn't in my, like it was either by consortia or the database, North Star database. Let's say it didn't show up here. If that was the case, I would just go ahead and save the title, and then I would click on it to edit. Then I would enhance it with Google. So it's using a Google location and it brings in different items for me. Hit select and crop. And then that's where I would add in the new amenity, hit that and save. So I would make sure to be adding these items to your library so that you can reuse that content. Right. Yeah, if there's issues of like photos not fitting in the box, it's just probably too large of an image. Um, you can definitely use, and I don't know if I actually linked it, but you can use um, Canva if you're really into the image and you want to see all of it. That's where I would use Canva to have that fit exactly in. So I will link those resources. Okay. How to create space between the bookings. So with spacing, it's kind of a guess and check. So if I'm in my itinerary, I'm going to first make, and clients can actually make their own PDF from that web view. So you can do it here, PDF with images. You can also go to WebView, which is what your clients would do, and they could make a PDF with images. Um, I would choose what you want to do first and your size, and then click Export. So visually, this is what you'll see. So let's say I don't want this little header by itself, right? So in that case, for Monday, May 12, I have a lot of tabs open, so bear with me as I close some of these up. All right, so Nashville was on its own page, right? Or was on page one and it was separated by that. So one little fix I could do is go to the three dot menu, insert new above. Oh no, so I did the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Go to the three dot menu and insert page break before this booking. So once I do that, I have a little icon that shows up for me. So now I'm gonna like reload my page here. And I'm going to open up the web view and I'm going to open up a brand new PDF. And so now that Monday, May 11 with Nashville has now been moved to page two, which is what I want. So let's say I want the same thing for now, May 15. You really have to do it one booking at a time because things are going to shift, right? So Friday, May 15 for my Noel hotel. I'm going to close that PDF there. And I can always refresh my WebView page. So now for this one, I want to insert page break before this booking. So now I've got that too. Okay, I'm going to refresh my WebView page. Now I'm going to export the PDF. And now my Noel on May 15 starts a brand new page on page 5. So one by one, you can enter in those page breaks. They can be helpful. Um, but I definitely would, it's kind of like a guess and check to see visually how it's going to look. So have that web view, or sorry, have that PDF kind of open. You can look at it. I think it still would work. Like, let's say I want to take away my page breaks. So I had a page break on before Monday, May 11, and then, or before the Nashville header and before the Noel header. So I have that open, right? So I'm just going to check here. Let's say I want to now remove the page break. So I just, the same way I added it, I'm going to go to the three dot menu and remove the page break. And I'm going to refresh my page here just so I guess I didn't have to do that. I'm going to go back to my web view, or sorry, my PDF. I'm going to refresh that. And yeah, it did remove it. So you could leave this open technically and refresh the page. And it did take off my headers for me, which then just scooted this back up, right? So all right, so let me add a resource on page breaks. Right. All right, says hotel templates are not updated easily when changed. They're not updating on the itinerary templates. Am I missing something? So, um, if you have a hotel that you've already saved to your library and it's living in your booking, at right as of now, if you make an update to the hotel booking in the library, you would have to bring it in again into that itinerary. They're not connected. Um, I think a great resource in the future would be either to update both or, hey, by making this change, I'm updating what's in my library. So again, if I have a hotel booking that lives in my library and I've made changes to that hotel booking, I will have to basically just remove the hotel booking in my current like itinerary because they're not it can't right now, um, or I actually what I would probably do is maybe delete my hotel booking that's in my library, make the change um, to my itinerary, and then save that to the library. I definitely would be careful to not have duplicates, but I would just take what you're working on and save it to the library. So again, if I go to library and I go to accommodations, and let's say I've got the Hermitage. Is it the Hermitage? The Hermitage Hotel Nashville. I would first delete this here, and then I would go to my hotel here, make a change, and then one time and one time only copy to library and save. And it should also give you the date that um, that update was made. So if I click on accommodation, yeah, I've got my date and time listed here. Update date. So that's probably what's going on. Those saves are not mirrored. So, all right, let's see what else. Just more questions on adding photos to a hotel booking. Um, System often reorders or duplicates them after uploading. Suggestion, a mass upload of 10 pics with drag and drop ability to reorder them. So good news on the reordering part. Um, there will be a feature coming soon where you can have an image sort order. So right now, if I were to add in, let's say, um, Nashville. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to go in and save. So what I would do is there'll be an image sort order. So I can decide this is image one, this is image two, or I can say this is image two, this is image one. And so that will be coming up for your cover images as well as your booking images. So watch out for that, an image sort order. Right now we don't have a multi-upload. Um, so if there is, um, yeah, but definitely watch out for that image sort order. Okay. Another question that came in, I use a lot of smaller properties. Often I can go to their website, download their photos, add them to the hotel entry. Works well most of the time. Thank you, Marcus, for that. Um, yeah, you can certainly do that if you have, they're okay to use their images. But then kind of the idea, or sorry, the example I showed you guys, where if I didn't have the hotel, I couldn't find it in the drop down. Um, am I spelling Marriott wrong? So let's say this Marriott London was not in here. So I'm going to go ahead and save it, click on it, enhance with Google, and then it brings me some options here. So enhancing with Google could be your best friend. And then again, when you're ready, save it to your library so you don't have to add it from scratch again. So, and then if, yeah, so brought over the address, phone number, website, all that good stuff. And then if you don't see a property, just send it our way and we can also take a look and happy to help with that. But I definitely, the key for this is save your bookings to your library, reuse the content. It'll be helpful for you. So info on the library, I'll link to that. Put that in the chat. And then before any more people when you before you guys head out, just besides the image sort order, um, more coming soon will be linking your documents. Right now, if you go to documents, so I'm going to add these from my library. Um, okay. So right now, these documents in the document section, right? But let's say I wanted to add, like I wanted to link this one to my booking, right? Right now, you'd have to, go here and add it in the notes section, and then you need to like hyperlink it, or you can embed the link, whatever you need. So, right, it's kind of extra complicated, right? So there'll be a way to link a booking with a document. So look for that. That'll be coming up. You can also unlink as well. Um, Another one coming up, if you ever use Task Reminder, um, if you use Task Reminder, you can add a task, you can set a reminder date, save it, just however your process is for building itineraries. But this enhanced feature along with that will be an email that goes out at midnight in your time zone specifically for you, um, reminding you about, like, once you set that reminder date, that email will go at midnight in that time zone, that you have that task to take care of. So that will be coming out. Another item, if you click on itineraries within a trip, you have the add default bookings. So if you don't know much about default bookings, it's bookings that you would add to probably every itinerary that you use all the time, that sort of thing. So we will be working on more categories. So maybe default bookings for solo travelers, default bookings for group travel, default bookings for honeymooners. Um, so more categories for you there. And let's see, what else? Default bookings, documents linked. And then a lot of our work has been done on focusing on AI. So if you've like looked at our newsletter or seen that, we have 3 AI projects in the works. The first is an AI booking enhancement, so where you would be able to add a hotel description, recommend a specific restaurants, whether it's vegan or steakhouses or whatever, near a hotel, add details on the aircraft that will be used for the flight. The second iteration would be AI itinerary creation, where you would tell AXUS to build an itinerary to London starting on April 4 for 4 nights, staying at a certain hotel, flying out on American Airlines 100, returning on that same flight at this time. So that, and then finally, just an AI booking itinerary parser. So those 3 AI projects have been consuming development time to get that out for you guys. So we hope to roll out the introductory version of that first one towards the end of March or early April. So I'm excited to share those updates with you guys. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time. I hope that helped today. If you think of anything else, feel free to email again support@axustravelapp.com. Should you have more questions. Otherwise, thanks so much and have a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are.